Easy math with Miss Easley. Easy math with Miss Easley. Easy math with Miss Easley.
Hey everyone, welcome back to Easy Math with Miss Easley. Today we're going to learn all about counting the value of coins. And we're also going to learn some great strategies to do that and how to write the amounts with a cent sign or a dollar sign. So let's first just get started with recognizing the coins and knowing their values. So what is this first coin? Okay, some of you said a penny, and it is worth 1 cent. We can write that a couple different ways. We can write that with a cent sign or with a dollar sign, and it looks like this with a decimal point and a dollar sign. All right, now here's the next coin. What do you think that is? Okay, this one's a little tricky. Two of them to me look a little similar, but this one is a nickel and it's worth 5 cents. So we can write that with a cent sign or with a dollar sign. Okay, what about this next coin? All right, some of you said it's a dime. You're right, and it's worth 10 cents. It can be written with a cent sign or a dollar sign also. All right, and then here's our last coin we're going to be looking at. What is this one? Okay, you got it. It's a quarter, and it's worth 25 cents, and it can be written with a cent sign like this or a dollar sign like that. Okay, so now let's try counting by each of the coins, because if you can skip count by the coins, then it makes counting up a big collection of different coins a lot easier. So let's start with the penny. Now that one, you're probably thinking, oh, we know how to count by ones. We've done that for a long time. So let's count up this collection of pennies. So 1 cent, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 cents. Okay, so that one's really easy to skip count by. Now let's try doing the nickel. So we're going to count up those by 5 since they're each worth 5. So 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30. All right, that one's easy also. You've been counting by 5s a lot before this, so you're ready to go. Okay, the next one is nice too, dimes. We're going to count by 10s. 10, 20, 30, 40, 50, 60. Okay, pretty easy also because you're so used to counting by 10s. But the next one, quarters, is a little bit new to us. So they're worth 25 cents. And we kind of just have to probably learn how to count by them this year because you might not have ever counted by 25s before. So 25 is 1 quarter. 2 quarters is 50 cents. So 25, 50. 3 quarters is 75 cents. So 25, 50, 75. And then 4 quarters is $1. So let's try counting it again. 25, 50, 75, $1. Great job. All right, now we need to put it all together because you need to be able to look at a group of coins, different coins, and be able to count it up and find out the total. So we're going to head over to a concession stand to help us practice. Okay, so the first thing I want to do is buy this candy, and there's a picture of the coins that equal the total cost of the candy. And I want to do this first one with you just to show you some good strategies, and then I'll let you do the next one practicing that. So I see that there are 2 quarters and 2 dimes, and that's the cost of the candy. So what I always like to do is start with your biggest coin, the greatest value. So in this case, we have quarters, which are worth 25 cents. So I want to start counting by the 25s and then do the dimes. So let's count by 25s. And if you've never done that before, this will be really good practice. So we have 25. And then what's that second quarter? Okay, some of you said 50. So 25, 50. And then we can write that down below the quarters. And then we can start counting the 10. So if we're at 50 and we need to count 10 and 10 more, let's do that. So 50, 60, 70. And I like to write that down as I go, because sometimes if I try to keep it all up here, I'll forget where I was at and then I might miscount. So I like to jot down my skip counting so that it helps me. All right, now I want to buy some chips. So here's the coins that represent the total. Can you help me find the cost of the chips? Why don't you pause the video and try counting up those coins? All right, you got it. You counted the quarter, the dime, the nickels, and the penny, and you got 46 cents. Great job. Now let's buy a drink. So here's the coins that represent the total of the drink. Can you find that amount? Why don't you pause the video and count up those coins using our skip counting strategy? All right, if you got the same answer as I did, great job. If you didn't, it's okay. You might just need a little bit more practice with counting coins. And one of my best tips for that is to get some coins, get some actual coins, and practice counting them up. You can even get some paper out or a whiteboard and practice counting up and skip counting by the different coins.
I hope this video helps you in your math class or at home. See you next time.